welcome to Advo Talks. Today we are starting our new series by the name of Star Talks, where we will be introducing some young dynamic lawyers who are doing tremendously great work in the field of law, their fraternity, and eventually their work are showcasing some amount of impact for the society. So today we have with us Advocate Kanika Bhardwaj ma'am. She's a founding partner of Kanika Bhardwaj law firm. She's practicing in Delhi High Court as well as with the Supreme Court. Thanks for joining, ma'am, and thanks for giving your time.
Most welcome.
So the basic aim for this session for conducting such virtual interviews is basically understanding the fraternity, understanding the area of law, or sabse zyada, we all know that this area is very complicated. Getting legal awareness about some very basic common issues, right? And eventually it will be a series of conversation from such young dynamic lawyers like you. And eventually our aim of propagating legal awareness throughout the country should be there. So topic for our today is related for the family law, right? As ma'am, you are very well aware and you have been practicing over it, that it's a very dynamic subject area over it. There are case laws at every stage, changes are, and eventually society is also changing, disputes, matters, and mediations are things are coming up. So how has been your interest, ma'am, into the family law? Kaise aap, your area has been developed into it, and how things are shaping up? Your comments on it.
See, when I came into the practice, it was not like that I have to go into family law only, or this was my field of expertise or specialization. It was not something that was already in my mind. But with the time, the more cases the more facts and more cases came to me regarding the family law only. Then eventually and gradually, I have done more and more such cases. And then I somehow got expertise in same because I've done lots of family matters and all. So this is the path, this is the journey. This is how I have started, and then I became one of the experts in this particular field. So I would also want to say to other people also, other law students and budding students also, that you should never fix a particular field when you are entering this profession into if you're coming into litigation. Don't from the very starting, just don't fix a just don't make boundary around you that okay, this is the only field that I want to go in. Explore everything, and eventually more matter will come, more cases will come, your trust develop, and then you decide that okay, now I have done this matter in this particular field, now I will be expertise, or now I will be a specialized person. I got into family law.
Perfectly fine, perfectly fine. Thanks for this starting comments. Now we'll be getting into some technical aspects itself from these areas of law itself. Now, the first question from my end is the cruelty part of it, right? That what is exactly cruelty is, what it stands for, and what are the problems basic women are facing in terms of marriages, and how things of these crimes of cruelties are shaping up in the changing societies.
Right. So now, since after the lockdown, after the COVID, we have been witnessing several law cases, several domestic violence cases. Lakhs of complaints are pending in CW cell. So now I think it is a need that we should understand what cruelty is. We should understand and spread awareness more about family law so that the wives are not suffering anymore. And if they are suffering, they know that what exactly they have to do. So now I think the people exactly don't know the meaning of cruelty. There is a perception that cruelty only means physical violence. किसी ने physically violence किया है तभी वो cruelty है. So that is not cruelty. And technically, I want to tell that the word cruelty has not been defined by any law. You won't find the definition of cruelty in any law. But gradually, as per the time, the High Court and the Supreme Court has, with the judgments and with the precedents, have continuously described what exactly cruelty will mean. So now I'm telling you, cruelty doesn't only mean physical violence. It also means financial or economic violence or harassment. It also means mental torture. It also means if somebody is blackmailing you, that also comes in mental torture. If somebody is constantly abusing you and all such things, making such gestures that you are that is actually harming your modesty, that also comes under cruelty. So cruelty not only means physical violence, it means economic or financial violence also. It means abusive behavior also. It means mental torture also. It means harassment in any way also. So all these things come under cruelty. And
That's
then, and then the second question of yours, that how the wives are, how they are suffering. So my all these things come under this only, that any wife, any woman, or any woman in live-in relationship also, if she's into a live-in relationship also, if they are suffering any such kind of financial harassment, economic harassment, abusive language, verbal, verbal abuse and humiliation, behavioral hand, and all these kind of things, that comes under cruelty. And they all have the power in their hands to file domestic violence case or to go and complain in CAW cell.
ओके, दैट आर सम ऑफ द वेरी वैलिड पॉइंट। आपने बहुत कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली और काफी कम टाइम में मैम इसको इलाबरेट किया कि एक जो दिमाग में लोगों की धारणाएं होती हैं कि सिर्फ फिजिकल वायलेंस ही को ही हम क्रुएल्टी मानेंगे। देयर आर मेंटल, फाइनेंशियल, इमोशनल, बहुत ही मल्टी डायमेंशनल एरिया है जिसको समझने की जरूरत है। इसी में मैम एक एडिशंस मैं डालना चाहता हूँ। व्हाट आर द रेमेडीज व्हिच आर अवेलेबल फॉर द एग्रीव्ड वुमेन इफ दे आर सफरिंग? कैसे उसको डायग्नोज करें and what are the remedies which are available to them?
Okay, so now let me first explain that when you say aggrieved women, so first we should know that who are the aggrieved women. So aggrieved women means any woman who is into a domestic relationship, which is marriage, any woman who is into a live-in relationship, and even there is a recent judgment of Bombay High Court, which says even if a person is transgender and he has undergone operation and he has become a woman, he also or she can also come and file domestic violence case, or all these remedies available to a woman. So now even a transgender who has converted herself into a woman is also one of the aggrieved women. So these are three things that we should, you keep in mind. And then after that, I'll tell you what are the remedies available. So the first thing that a woman can do is file a domestic violence case. So domestic violence is a vast area. Okay, so domestic in this case only you can claim things. For example, you can claim residence orders, because कभी होता है ना, वाइफ को घर से बाहर निकाल के abandon छोड़ दिया जाता है, and she doesn't have residence. Maybe she may have kids, so she may have all these things also. So in that case, she can claim residence order. In domestic violence case, she can claim interim maintenance. She can claim alimony. She can claim a Sridhan back. Okay, and then she can also claim compensation. Only one case, and probably 80% of the problem is solved. Another thing I want to add in domestic violence cases, you get protection orders also. So in a very severe cases where the husbands they come along with the goons and they kind of threaten the other party, threaten a woman, and they blackmail them कि case वापस ले लो वरना हम तुम्हें मार देंगे, and all these things. तो उसके लिए there is a protection order. So if any such kind of thing is happening, the court will give you protection order. The court will give you a number of police officer, and that police officer will be 24/7 available at your call. So whenever you call the police officer up, the lady or the guy will immediately come to your place to see that whether everything is okay or not. So this kind of protection you get in domestic violence case. So one remedy is domestic violence. Other one is that if you want to end up your marriage, you can obviously go for divorce. There is divorce. The third one is 498A. Now, 498A of IPC means people have a perception that 498 of IPC only means dowry. So it's a misconception. When you go and when you read 498A, it means cruelty by husband or relatives. So this is what 498 is, which covers dowry also. So if a woman in a domestic relationship or a live-in relationship, or if she's a transgender and converted into a woman, if she is facing any kind of cruelty, she can by husband or by the relatives of husband also. Then in that case, they can go and they can file a complaint in CAW cell. CAW cells are available in every zone. In every zone, if you go to South Delhi or Southeast Delhi, Southwest Delhi, whatever, every zone there is one CAW cell, which is inside the police station only. So you just have to go to the police station and file a normal complaint. CW complaint is आपको lawyer की भी जरूरत नहीं है. You can just write up your whatever is happening incidental wise, and then you can just go and file your complaint, and then they will carry on mediation process. वो लोग counseling कराएंगे, and then they will try to settle the matter. अगर वो matter settle नहीं होता, then they will go and do an FIR. Okay. So this is the entire process. So it's a very very nice process to initiate with, क्योंकि वो आपको counseling की process भी देते हैं. It's a वो free counseling है, it's a free mediation. So 50% matter CW में भी settle हो जाते हैं. So they don't go ahead and don't go into litigations and several years of struggle. So CW cell is also a very nice process for women. So it is very important for every woman to know that it is very simple. You don't have to look for the advocate also in this case. You can just write down your complaint and go and give it to CW cell. Definitely. So these are the 3 basic remedies which are available. बिल्कुल. नहीं, इसी में एडिशन करने के साथ साथ आपने यू हैव ब्रॉट आउट सम वेरी सिग्निफिकेंट थिंग. सबसे पहला जो इम्पैक्टफुल थिंग था, प्रोटेक्शन ऑर्डर, राइट? बहुत ही ज्यादा, इफ अ फीमेल इज इन अ स्टेट ऑफ क्राइसिस, उनके पास एटलीस्ट एक प्रोटेक्शन ऑर्डर है ना, एंड इट इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ द स्टेट नाउ टू प्रोटेक्ट हर, राइट? तो इस तरीके की अगर अवेयरनेस हमारे सिटीजन्स में, नॉट इन दिल्ली, राइट अक्रॉस द कंट्री, आई नो दैट देयर आर सिस्टम्स available over there, and from your words, if even one woman gets awareness about it, we are achieving our targets. So taking this conversation forward, ma'am, there's a lot of conversation happening about section 125 of the code of criminal procedure, right? There's a lot of advice, there are a lot of misconception about it. What are your take and point of view on it? See, section 125 of CrPC is specifically for maintenance, and the main purpose of 125 CrPC is maintenance only, nothing else. So as I said, that if there is a domestic relationship, and if a woman is not suffering from cruelty, but she is not getting any financial assistance from the husband, then in that case we can go and we can file 125 of CrPC. So if you're asking, according to me, when you file a domestic violence case, you already have been given a right to get financial assistance. So there is, according to me, it's a multiple of litigations, and there is no, if you're going for domestic violence case, then go for one case only, don't go for 125 CrPC, because it's one of the same things. And then particularly you will be wasting your efforts and also wasting your money also, because you are claiming or praying one thing and you're filing 2 cases for the same. And then it will be a problem also. It can be a problem because there can be such a situation where you are claiming something else, or you are mentioning something else in domestic violence case, and you are mentioning something else in 125 CrPC. So it can be a contradiction also. So it is, so at this point of time, here comes the role of a lawyer. If you get a good lawyer, he will or she will be able to make you understand that don't go for your multiple litigations. If you're getting something from one case only, go for one case. So 125 CrPC is also important, but when you're getting something in domestic violence case, there is no point of double litigations. But go for 125 CrPC only when you are suffering from financial harassment, nothing else. For example, if you are suffering from other cruelty also, for example, you're suffering from mental harassment or physical or verbal violence, then you go for domestic violence and claim financial assistance there. But if you're only suffering from financial harassment and nothing else, then go for 125 of CrPC. डेफिनेटली मैम, काफी वैलिड आपने पॉइंट्स को लेके आया है, बिकॉज इन्हीं छोटी मोटी निटिग्रिटीज से केसेस गेट्स अलोंग पेंडिंग फॉर इयर्स एंड इन इयर्स, एंड लोगों को लगता है कि एडवाइस इज नॉट थिंग्स में कॉम्प्लेक्स, आप जितना आप उसे और कॉम्प्लेक्स कर देते हो. इट्स वेरी सिंपल, इट्स वेरी वेरी सिंपल, बट बहुत ज्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्स हो जाते हैं बिकॉज लोगों में अवेयरनेस नहीं है इन सब चीजों की. अ लॉयर विल ओनली नो द टेक्निकल पार्ट्स. Definitely, here comes a role of a good lawyer, I must say. इसीलिए मैम इस पर्टिकुलर सेशंस को हमने नाम दिया स्टार टॉक का, right? Because we want that the young dynamic lawyers like you should come forward and give the utmost best prudent advice for the society itself, right? So मैम इसी में थोड़ा सा कुछ पर्सनल क्वेश्चंस मैं आपसे पूछूंगा. व्हाट हैज बीन योर, यू हैव बीन प्रैक्टिसिंग इन दिस एरिया, व्हाट हैज बीन अभी तक का सबसे मोस्ट सेटिस्फाइंग केस फॉर यू, और स्टिल इट इज गोइंग ऑन बट सम लेवल ऑफ डेली मोटिवेशन हो जाता है. व्हाट हैज बीन योर एक्सपीरियंस टिल डेट? Okay, so see, I was very passionate about this profession since the very beginning. Okay, and I would also like to advise other young lawyers that if you are passionate about this profession, then only come into this profession. If you are money minded from the very starting, कि पैसे नहीं आ रहे, then don't choose this profession, because
Definitely.
initially you will get only peanuts. That's
Definitely.
for sure. So
Definitely.
I was very clear about the same, because when I did my juniorship and all, I was getting only peanuts. But I was very passionate about this profession that I have to do it. And the thing that I love in this profession is that you daily there are different challenges, and you have to overcome that challenges, and then you have to and then um, comes a feeling when you win a case or you get a relief in your favor, and that particular feeling is like beyond. I cannot express that in words, that you got a relief or you got a judgment in your favor, you won a case. So I just love that feeling. I'm very passionate about it. And thirdly, another feeling that I've experienced is when you are a young lawyer and you're arguing, the opponent is like 25 years of practice or 30 years of practice or a senior counsel, and then you argue that person, and you are arguing from a very renowned law firm. I won't name all of those, but obviously, so when you argue with those people and then you see, and then the judge favors you at one point of time, the feeling that is there, that yes, you can do it. Yeah, and being a first generation lawyer, I think I have come till here, and then obviously several yeah, it's a long way to go. So all these things are like very special to me. So my experience is very special till here. But again, I'm repeating one advice: if you are passionate, then only come into this profession. Ultimately, you will end up like you'll end up you won't be like much happier if you're not passionate about this profession.
Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Ma'am, I'll be asking you last question on this segment of our conversation. Just three tips to any individual who is currently is going through a family law case. So what are your three tips? How to tackle it? How to go for it? And what are your three tips out of it?
Okay, so the first thing that you have to do is you have to exactly understand what your client wants.
Definitely.
Okay, because there are certain couple or there are certain people who will come in front of you, and for example, if a wife is sitting in front of you, she will say that she wants a divorce, but there is a possibility that she doesn't want a divorce. She wants her husband to come back. Okay, so in that case, you will file Section 9, not divorce.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
understand what the client wants. Ask him several questions, because the client won't tell you directly, that is for sure. The client will indirectly, because सभी clients को लगता है कि वो महान है, वो भगवान है, उनसे बड़ा कोई नहीं है, वो ही सच्चे हैं. But it is not the
The
truth.
reality.
So you should know the truth. You should know the truth. You should know the facts. You should know the reality first, and then you will have to apply a law. Don't apply law first and then go into facts.
Definitely. Definitely.
Get the facts and then apply the law, and then probably you will be able to get the perfect relief for your client. The second thing I always advise for the people who are into family law, that always undergo mediation process.
Okay.
Never skip a mediation process.
Okay.
Because in mediation process, now you have to play very smart here. Mediation में दो चीजें होती है. Number one, you get to know what exactly is the ideology of the other party. Because वो mediation में खुल के बोलेंगे. They'll sit in front of you, अपना जो whatever they want, because mediation is a confidential process.
Definitely.
And there is no recording, there is nothing on the order. वो वहाँ पे सब कुछ खुल के बोलेंगे, whatever they want at this point of time. So now from that particular mediation, you can make your strategy. Now you know that what exactly the other party wants.
Definitely.
Okay, so this you have to see. And number third is, and this is for all the cases, this is not only for the family case, that never give all your evidence in the first stage only. सारे एविडेंस एक ही बार में मत दो, थोड़े से एविडेंस बचा के रख लो जो बाद में यूज करो. बिकॉज आई हैव सीन सेवरल पीपल की क्लाइंट इतने सारे एविडेंस रिकॉर्डिंग्स और व्हाट्सएप चैट्स एंड ईमेल कॉन्वर्सेशंस लेके आ गए हैं, एंड लॉयर्स ने सारी लगा दी है. सो डोंट डू दैट मिस्टेक एट ऑल. स्टार्टिंग में उतने ही डॉक्यूमेंट्स कोर्ट को दो जितना आपका केस एडमिट हो जाए. दैट्स इट.
Definitely.
केस एडमिशन तक ही उतने डॉक्यूमेंट्स देने हैं. देन द अदर पार्टी विल गिव रिप्लाई. Then after the written statement, when you file your application, then give entire evidences, or give evidences when you file evidence for affidavit. जब आप evidence of affidavit देते हो, at that point of time you file all the evidences, because अगर आप पहले ही सब कुछ disclose कर दोगे,
okay,
तो they will make their strategy.
Definitely.
So these are the 3 tips that I want to give to people who are in.
Definitely, these 3 tips I'm pretty confident will be right on the place for every cases, especially for the family law cases. And yeah, please.
So the first 2 cases are basically the second one that I told you कि mediation process जाना है, that is for the family case, but first and third tip I think वो किसी भी case में apply होता है.
Definitely.
Matrimonial case में ज़्यादा apply होगा, because matrimonial case में जो husband and wife आते हैं, they are not sure whether they want to end up their marriage or they want divorce या क्या करना है, they don't know anything.
Definitely.
So at this point in time, it's very important to get the facts कि आपको चाहिए क्या.
इसीलिए मैम द ओरिएंटेशन ऑफ द सेशन हैज बीन कि वी स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम द डेफिनेशन पार्ट ऑफ इट, देन आपने कुछ रेमेडीज के बारे में बताया, देन कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट हम लोगों ने टिप्स के अराउंड इसको कंक्लूड किया. सो वील बी कंक्लूडिंग द सेशन फॉर द डे, एंड इट वाज प्रिविलेज हैविंग कन्वर्सेशन विद यू, and your words for the team Advotalks, and we'll be concluding it.
Thank you so much.